if you've been renting for 10, 15 years and you've always been like waiting for a crash to happen, I hate to be the spicy bitch here. You lost a lot of money doing that. Welcome back to another episode of
Skinny and Spicy.
So I think what's wild is that when I got on your team in real estate,
that was a good time.
that was some shift. That was some shift. I
Yeah.
feel like if you can get through that shift, you could get through anything.
Some people say that if you were in the shift when you came on the team,
Right.
that you were lucky.
Oh, really?
You enjoyed the shift.
What do you think?
I think both were I think it's challenging either way. Real estate's always
Real estate
challenging.
is hard no matter what you fucking do. Okay? It's always
Doesn't
gonna be
matter if
hard.
you're getting shifted on or not
But
shifted
I will
on.
say that it was a crazy atmosphere to kind of
To
pick
learn.
up, but it was my nature just to fucking go.
Yeah,
and I was getting shifted on left and right.
The double shifting.
Yeah, I took a big shift to the face. Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4 times.
I feel like every ass
I think
girl for
someone
you.
took a shift on me today. I constantly get text messages. Oh, well, that's not happening.
Uh-oh.
All right,
Yeah.
a little shift on me.
Yeah. So I think that's a hot topic right now in real estate is the big shift, right?
Oh my God, Shishana. Is the housing market shifting?
We do get that all the time. Are we experiencing a shift? Yes, we are experiencing a shift. And you know what? I think a shift is actually a good thing.
Quite nice. I think
I love a good shift.
yeah. And you know what? Shift happens all the time.
Yeah, shift happens, right?
So, but I do think it is kind of a nice refresher for our clients.
It's a stabilizing shift.
Yeah. I just feel like I had so many clients that were just getting
Worked.
They were getting beat to shit, man. They were like, bah, bah, bah. Everything they did. It was like, nope, you like that house? Too late. It already sold. It didn't even go on the market. Yeah. Shift up.
Shift happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that it was definitely, if you're a first-time home buyer over the last 2 years, like during COVID, you got shifted on for
Totally.
sure. You know?
You know what sucks?
What?
The people that like sold their house before the pandemic.
Yeah.
That's shifty.
Yeah.
Because they lost out on so much money.
Oh, right before the pandemic. Yeah.
When that shift happened, right?
Well, and like I always coach my clients, like it's not a one size fits all, right? This is not a one size fits all.
Not a condom.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
So like it's not market dependent. Like, do you have to move? Do you want to move? And why are you moving? Right. And then we figure out the best game plan. But if you like, I think people make the mistake of like trying to time the market perfectly.
You really can't.
I mean, sometimes you get lucky and you time it perfectly every single time. But at the end of the day, if you're only moving when the market's changing, you're kind of getting a little sick inside when, you realize, oh, I sold in 2019 because I thought I was at the height of the market, or 2018.
Right.
I remember 2017, actually, when we bought our house.
Yeah.
I was already like, okay, I'm in real estate, so don't freak out. Like us as agents were our own worst clients, that's for sure.
Oh,
I think I backed out of our house like 3 times before we actually moved forward. Ew. I know. It was awful.
Get it together.
It's 2017, everyone's like, this is high in the market. Oh my gosh. So I'm like,
I looked
okay.
so good in 2017.
I think I look better now.
Good.
My teeth.
Some
Thank
growth.
you. Thank you, Josh
Some
Posh.
growth, yeah.
No, but I think 2017, everyone thought the market was going to crash. And so they were purchasing homes or selling their homes thinking, everything's going to shit. And those people that sold 18, 19 and then missed out on all the equity when it went up to like 19, 20% in like 1 year, those people may have felt like they got shifted on, unless they were moving for a certain reason, right? We had a lot of people moving out of California because of like everyone was like, I don't want my kid to get vaccinated. So they decided this is the right move for them. That's different.
I'm going to Idaho. Okay, how's Idaho? But I'm sure it's lovely.
It's probably really lovely.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's crazy.
It's crazy.
But I feel like that is just natural in real estate. It's always going to shift.
It's always cycle.
It's always going to shift. And if you time it, then you're a psychic.
Which is great. I mean, we do watch the market every day. So, of course, we have like educated conversations with our clients and we can tell you what's best for you and what we suggest and blah, 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 blah.
Shut up.
But at the end of the day, right, everybody's talking about this massive shift.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny because it's like massive shit, right? But massive
We
shift.
get it.
Which we are in a shifting market, and that's okay, right?
It is okay. It happens all the time.
It happens all the time. I think the biggest thing that people are so worried about, right?
What is it, Shishana?
The big crash, right?
The big
crash.
The big dump in your diaper, leaking out onto your leg.
I think people are talking about like stability, the shift, all this stuff. But I think what they're really saying is like, can you tell me if the market's going to crash? Should I make a decision now? And I was in loans, and don't blame me. It just so happened to be from 2003 to 2008.
I could go on record and say that the housing market crash was because of you.
You know, I'm very egocentric, but that's not true. Okay?
Yeah, you gave a loan to everyone. But everyone else, so was everyone else. So, yeah.
What I'm saying is that was a different time.
Different time.
Right? And every market shift is for a different reason, right? But when you see signs of the same thing happening, people start to panic.
Right.
But you really have to look at, what the hell are you doing? Are you buying a house because you just feel like it? Right now, that's not really happening. People are buying homes because they don't want to spend money on rent.
Right.
They want to move out of state or whatever that is.
Always happen.
Always.
And I feel like so many people sacrifice.
Yeah.
I want to say, I want the housing market to go down, and
I'm going to wait.
waiting. Like, and then how long have you waited? You waited 5 years. I was just talking to someone in the grocery store today, and she's like, I've been waiting and I've been renting because we like sold our house for a lot, like, and now we've been renting, and it's been 10 years. I look at 10 years, and how much have you spent in rent over 10 years? Like,
I know.
And then you're like, oh shit.
You're like, bust out your calculator. You're like, sorry.
You're like always, and it's like, I don't know.
I know. It's hard. And I think
really,
that
it is hard.
If you're not, like, what's the goal?
What is the goal?
What's the goal? Let's make the best decision based on what your goal is,
right?
Not trying to, become an overnight celebrity.
It's different when you're like working with investors and they're like numbers, blah, 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 which is fine.
Totally.
Okay, we'll get into that with you and whatever. Is this worth something? People, I don't know. You have all this money, so maybe, sure.
What else are you doing with the money?
Yeah, fuck off. But if you're, a family and you get a new job and you're like, oh, should I rent? No, you shouldn't. If you can afford a house, buy a house.
Buy the house.
So you're not renting and throwing it all away. But
I think that's like the biggest question right now.
Now, let me ask you this.
Okay.
Shishana, I want to buy a house.
I'm not just going to say, okay, cool. Yeah, let's go.
But Shishana, should I buy now or should I wait 6 months?
Can I ask you this?
I would love for you to ask me. I've been waiting all fucking night.
What's your current situation?
Don't do that.
That's what I would say. I want to learn.
Don't do that to me personally. I do want to buy a house. No,
I know that I would want to know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't just say yes, let's buy. I would dig a little bit deeper. You know me, my customized game plan.
Right.
That's for this reason, so you don't get shifted on.
Yeah.
I think it's important.
I guess if it's I need to move because I got a new job, blah blah blah. I guess if you're comfortable, if your rent is stupid cheap right now.
Yeah.
I feel like what I'm getting a lot right now is everyone's rent's just going.
Oh yeah, so high.
And they're like, fuck it, I'm done renting. I'm going to buy. Which makes sense.
You know what's kind of sad though, which I don't think people think about when they're renting, but it does make me sad because we get calls all the time where they've been renting the same house forever. Like I had one, right? They've been renting the same house for 12 years and their landlord never raised their rent. Well, you would think think that's like such a nice thing. However, it totally fucks you in the end because landlord says, oh, hey, I need to sell my house now because I think the market's going to crash, so I'm going to sell it for top dollar.
Yeah.
Goodbye, renters that have been there for 12 years, only paying $1,400 a month.
Like, you got real comfortable. They didn't, whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Living that lifestyle
Next
at $1,400.
Like,
you got to go.
Like, you might not be ready to sell the house and you're renting or whatever, but your landlord might want to cash out.
Yeah.
And they can do that.
60 days. Peace out.
Anytime.
I know.
And that sucks, especially with the home, what it means to someone. And
totally. They don't realize it's not their own. Yeah. And like for all the younger people, right?
We can't buy a house. I know.
No, you can buy a house, right? Like, why wouldn't you just get into the market? Like, you can. Totally. You want to keep your little rental with your cute little thing, and you're sharing a rental with 5 different people, and then you like that lifestyle.
You have one sink. Everyone's pubes are getting everywhere.
Nobody cares at that age. But you can, if you have the the credit and a little bit of money, you can buy the house and just rent it out if you want to stay in your little rental.
Oh my God, I had someone do that and paid for their home mortgage.
Yeah.
If you want to be in a frat house, we'll just own the frat house and then rent it out to all your everybody. Homies. That's smart. Yeah.
Super smart. There's a thing called house hacking. Have you heard of that? It's pretty cool.
Hacking?
Yeah, like I can never do it because I have kids, but like as a single guy, you could buy a house, right? And figure out what the rent could be on each one. And you basically live there for free and all of your tenants end up paying the mortgage. So it's like
a multifamily?
No, just like in a regular house. You have a 5-bedroom house and I've seen it like in Santa Cruz. 5-bedroom house, expensive. Your mortgage is, let's just say $5,000 a month.
You rent it all out.
You rent out the rooms for $1,500 each.
Yeah, boom, done.
Boom, done. Yeah.
That's
smart.
Nice. That is smart. But then you have to live with 5 fuckers.
That's what I'm saying. I could never do it.
No, I would never.
I like to pay for comfort.
I would rather just end it.
Yeah, you like to live by yourself.
Yeah, please don't touch me. Don't talk to me. Don't look at me.
Yeah.
No,
that wouldn't work for you.
Really
house hacking's not for you.
No. No hacks there.
Yeah. So what is your thoughts? I'm going to put you on the spot right here.
Please.
What's your thought if somebody says, should I buy now?
I think I would dive into it, like you said. Yeah. But I would want to know their rental situation because if they are getting a really good deal in rent and it does make sense, then maybe I would say just hold off. I will never, if someone's interested in real estate, I will always encourage them to get out there. To get out there and see some houses because you don't know what you like until you get out there and the whole process is so confusing for if you've never done it. So there's a lot to do it and kind of just lay out all the facts. And if their situation makes sense, then it's like, absolutely, let's move on that.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you can't really make someone buy, like whatever.
No, it's a personal situation. I totally agree.
But it's crazy how many people it's like, oh, the best decision is to buy the house.
Yeah. And I mean, if you can afford it, you qualify for it. Just buy, it makes total sense. For me, I have used my homes as tools to build money that I would never have if I didn't have it. Like well, I don't know about all, well, kind of. But at the beginning, like when we bought our first home, interest, like our first home was expensive for us, right? It was, you guys would laugh at what it was, but for us, that was expensive. And the interest rates were at 5.5%, right? So
hi.
Well, and I didn't know if that was like high or low or whatever. I just knew that it was a little bit more than I was paying in rent, but whatever. Chad thought it was a good idea, so let's do it, right? So we buy the first house and then, we don't even know anything about the market's like building, whatever. A lender calls us and says, hey, interest rates have dropped to 3%. You should refinance. I don't even know what that means. Okay, cool. Refinance. Mind you, I was doing loans before and I didn't really know what that meant. So whatever. You didn't have to have a license back then. No, I recognize the word. So anyways.
That sounds familiar. Can't put my...
So what we did was we refinanced and they said, hey, you have $100,000 in equity. So crazy. Do you want to pull cash out? I go, sure, I guess.
You pulled cash out?
Yeah.
For what?
We pulled cash out, paid off our cars.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Paid off 2 cars, paid off credit card, paid off some of my student loans, right? And then had some extra cash to do stuff around the house, like an extra $20,000, right? Refinanced at 3% interest rate. And I know this is kind of a boring story if you don't really care, but at the end of the day, our mortgage payment stayed the same with the lower interest rate, but we had cleared up like $1,500 of bills every month. And I'm like, are you freaking, this is amazing. Yeah, like, why wouldn't you buy a house?
Yeah.
And then we go buy the next house and it's like, oh, all of a sudden the market is, healthy. And then boom, our house, which I thought originally we were at the height of the market. I'm like, you idiot. Why'd you buy this house? Went from $600,000 to just under $1 million in a few years. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Why wouldn't people do that?
Yeah.
So I know firsthand that it will change your life. Totally. So typically I look into people's situation and say, hey, regardless if you're being shifted on, right? Regardless if someone's going to take a shift on you.
There's some money in it for you.
There's some money in it for you.
So take it.
And remember during COVID, right? It was so hard to get a house for a lot of people. I mean, our clients, they lucked out. They did really well.
Yeah.
I would say they did pretty good.
Yeah.
We didn't have an issue with that. But a lot of people missed out right?
So tough.
And now it's getting easy.
It is.
Would you agree? It's like so easy. Instead of writing 500 offers for one client,
and just
you're just writing one, and you're asking the seller to mop the floors before they leave and pay your closing costs, buy down the interest rate, make sure the flowers are nicely, freshly watered before we close.
You're almost like, shut up.
Just take my offer.
Shut up and sign it. Sign it, seller. Yeah, we want the house.
It's so much easier.
Back then, it was like, okay, we'll put an offer and we'll put in 150 over. And here's my left nut.
Yeah.
To have a child of your own.
Yes.
And they'd be like, no.
No.
I wanted both of your nuts.
I want your life.
Yeah. I wanted the whole sack.
Yeah. So I think that regardless of a shift happening, it's actually working out in the buyer's favor. Sellers are still doing really well too, but you have to price your home right.
Oh,
that's like a must. That's a different episode.
Topic. Don't get her started.
So don't get scared, seller. Yeah, I'm very passionate for my sellers.
About her sellers. I'm like,
so
do you want to sell the house or not?
Don't get scared if sellers. Don't worry. But buyers definitely have an upper hand right now.
Yeah.
Because a lot of sellers aren't listening to their agents.
Yeah.
You know?
Competition's a little bit lower and
demand is still high. Demand is still high, but there's more inventory. So you got to stand out. If you're going to get shifted on, you got to make sure you stand out.
Right.
Yeah.
Or the shift's going to get you. It's going to get real stinky real quick.
Shift's going to be stinky. Yeah. So I think the skinny.
Yeah. What's the skinny of this shift?
The skinny is that even how we told you through like the crazy COVID market, right? And where we are today, it's the same method. It's the same thing. What's your situation? And we'll help guide you if it's the best position for you, right? We were saying that during COVID when interest rates dropped to 2%. Same thing. Should I buy a house? Well, tell me a little bit about your situation, right? Can I ask you a question? Yeah. That's my famous line. Can I ask you a question? You always want to make the best decision for your specific situation, and we'll help you answer a lot of questions that you might not be thinking of versus what you're hearing in the news, which is just all panic for behind the scenes narrative. That's my skinny.
I would say the spicy of this is if you've been renting for 10, 15 years and you've always been like waiting for a crash to happen.
People wait so long.
You're like, oh God. I hate to be the spicy bitch here, but you lost a lot of money doing that.
I know.
So it does get spicy because you're like, I just threw away all this money, but if you bought the house and even if a random crash did happen, you still
just don't sell.
You don't sell and you wouldn't have lost as much as you did renting all the time. Yeah. So that one is a hard pill to swallow. I'm so sorry. Usually I love to be the spicy girl, but for that one, I'm sorry. You're
sorry?
Yeah, that one hurts.
Yeah.
Because you're like, oh, you're an idiot. But I mean, everyone's situation's different.
Yeah,
but.
He doesn't mean that. Well, he probably does.
But yeah, that's the shift.
That's the shift. Don't get shifted on. Thank you for watching another episode of Skinny and Spicy. We hoped you learned something.
And if not, we hope you had a really good time.
And we want to hear from you, so don't forget to give us a like, comment, share, and definitely subscribe.